Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, time to stop the presses. We've got a preseason injury, and it is Cowboys quarterback Tony Romo going down with a back injury, holding his back after getting tackled from behind by Cliff Avril, guys. This is not good for the Dallas Cowboys, obviously. If they want any chance of being successful this year and making a long playoff run, which we all can agree they have the talent to do with this football team they currently have. They need Tony Romo as their quarterback. We saw what happened last year when Tony Romo and Des Bryant went down. And we saw 2 years ago what happens when they have these guys at full strength, the type of success they can have winning the division. And really, Des Bryant caught that football, so they should be in the NFC Championship game. But we're not going to harp on the past. We're only going to look ahead at the present and the future. And this hit on Tony Romo is absolutely huge, guys. Hopefully not a spinal injury or anything like that, but he is in pain. His back, never a good sign for Tony Romo. He's had the back issues throughout his career, and this is the last thing you want to see for the Dallas Cowboys, especially in the preseason when it doesn't mean anything. And unfortunately, these guys still have to play in the preseason. You know, they do everything they can, the coaches, to try to protect them and put them in not dangerous situations. But that's just how it is. It's football, guys. After a while, there's not really much you can do. You can only do so much. Just by the fact you're on the field, there's a chance you could get hurt. And that's exactly what happened here. Hopefully he's fine. This isn't some major injury that's going to require surgery and he's going to be out for a couple weeks. But that's the problem. We just don't know, guys. It's all up in the air right now. And for Jason Garrett and that coaching staff, they are just praying, and all the players and all the fans and everyone else, they are just praying that their man Tony Romo is going to be okay. It's only the preseason, guys. Absolutely ridiculous. Tony Romo goes down with a back injury. What do you guys think about this? Tony Romo goes down with the injury here. I mean, this is just ridiculous, guys. It really is. Come on. I mean, Tony Romo getting hurt in the preseason. Like, seriously. Absolutely ridiculous, guys. Give me your thoughts down below. Down goes Romo. And with this, it could be down goes the entire season for the Dallas Cowboys if this is a bad, bad injury for, of course, Tony Romo. Rookie Dak Prescott is now in at quarterback. And all the hype surrounding Dak Prescott, we'll have to see, Hey, maybe they're going to need him more than we all thought, guys. Everyone talking trash about Dak Prescott. Maybe he's going to be coming in the game and playing in some regular season in some time in the regular season, but we'll have to see about that. Tony Romo leaves the game after getting hit in the back on the second play of the preseason, either the second or the third play of the preseason. Absolutely crazy, guys. Down goes Romo. What a stunning, stunning moment here. Give me your thoughts down below as Tony Romo has left the ball game. I mean, I'm looking at the stats here on the TV. Other quarterbacks over the last 3 seasons besides Romo, their stats. 1-13 record, 16.4 points per game for the team, 12 touchdowns and 19 interceptions, and a 30.6 QBR. That is just absolutely awful. That's horrific. That is unacceptable, guys. But it shows you how important Tony Romo is. And I think that, especially for Cowboys fans and other just football fans, they haven't really appreciated the greatness of Tony Romo because they don't really realize how good he is. They just harp on the mistakes, the lack of consistency in the fourth quarter, the collapses and all that stuff. But they forget how good this guy really is. He is a top-tier quarterback. He's not an elite quarterback because he hasn't had the consistent playoff success or Super Bowl title just yet. But he is a superstar talent. Tony Romo is an extremely talented quarterback for a long time in this league. So for him to go down, it's a huge deal for the Dallas Cowboys. You bring in Ezekiel Elliott. You've got Des Bryant, one of the baddest men on the face of the planet. You've got Jason Witten and that consistency at tight end. You finally started to maybe a little bit solidify that defense. The offensive line has been spectacular. They focused on that in the draft. And you've got to look at this team as a contender, especially in the wide open NFC East in the year 2016. And for Tony Romo to go down is an absolutely huge travesty and tragedy for the Dallas Cowboys. We'll have to see what ends up happening here, if he is done for the year, or if he's just out for a couple weeks, or if he's going to be fine and he'll be back later in the game. We just don't know. He probably won't be back in this game because it's a preseason game. There's no reason to risk putting him out there and further hurting him. So we'll see what happens, guys. Obviously, a lot to talk about. Tony Romo making huge headlines here in the preseason. Usually there's not too much to talk about in the preseason, unfortunately. But injuries is definitely one of those things that does seem to happen every year. We always, every year, every couple years, every week, it doesn't even, I'm not 100% sure, but we always seem to have these situations where we're second guessing and third guessing and fourth guessing the prospect of playing your starters in the preseason, and why we even have these all 4 preseason games every year, because you have stuff like this where the star quarterback, one of the best quarterbacks in the entire league, ends up getting clobbered from behind by Cliff Avril of the Seattle Seahawks, part of that Legion of Boom defense, and then you don't have a star quarterback for weeks on end. And if you're the Dallas Cowboys, after all the BS that happened last year with this football team, when they didn't have Romo or Dez, I mean, come on now, this is ridiculous. But luckily, I'm not a Cowboys fan, so I'm not too pissed off. But I'm just saying, in terms of being a football fan, you never want to see Tony Romo go down in a meaningless preseason game and clutching at his back with maybe a spinal cord injury. Just terrible, terrible news, guys. Anyway, give me your thoughts down below. Down goes Romo, getting hit from behind. Cliff Avril with the tackle. A clean football play without a doubt, but unfortunately with Romo's past history of back injuries, it's going to cost him. We'll see what happens. Hopefully he's okay, but you never know with stuff like this. He left the game. He'll go to the locker room. He'll get the test done. They'll probably do a massage or whatever other procedures they do for back injuries. Probably give him some painkillers, maybe some shots in the back, whatever it takes to maybe help him feel better. But we'll see, guys, what exactly is going on here with Tony Romo, the bad man that he is. You know, he's not Aaron Rodgers, but he's pretty damn good. He's a pretty reliable and top-tier quarterback in the National Football League. He can be your franchise guy. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Down goes Romo here in preseason game number 3, I believe. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Tony Romo down with the injury. Absolute insanity here. Cannot believe it. Down goes Romo here in the game against the Seattle Seahawks. The Legion of Boom has eliminated Tony Romo for the time being. Thanks for watching.